I know that artificial intelligence is very topical at the moment, but consider this. What is it that makes us human rather than inferior to machines or non-humans? And I would argue that communication is potentially something that can distinguish humans from non-humans. At some denominational level, sure, it can be mass produced, regurgitated, copied, mundane, factualized. But at a much higher level, communication is nuanced, it's complex, it's context dependent, it's dynamic. It's all those things that are difficult to understand unless you and however many other people happen to be in that place and time and circumstance. I think that poetry stands the test of time, but I also think that poetry reminds us that sometimes saying a little can mean a lot. And I would like to recite a poem written by Rudyard Kipling, which, in my opinion, has stood the test of time, but more importantly, has meant a lot to me. The poem, it's quite well known, is titled If. If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minutes with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you will be a man, my son. Now, that poem I must have read countless times, and by some measure it might not be a long poem, but I can tell you that reading a poem once or twice or dozens of times can only mean so much. But if you can relate to the words, to the lines, to the situations being alluded to, better yet, if you have lived and experienced some of those words, some of those lines, some of those situations, then quite obviously the poem takes on a whole nother level of meaning. And more than that, when I do revisit this poem and I read it, I am in no rush to linger over a phrase or a section, because continues to provide meaning and sense, and I'm in no rush. I'm sure you can find much more lauded and famous people who could recite this poem, possibly off by heart. And that in itself is admirable, but consider this. When you're not motivated to recite a poem for someone's benefit, but instead you live and breathe by the poem, when you have no qualms reading and rereading it infinite times, when it never ceases to amaze you how much it rings true and how much meaning it continues to give, then a recital by a person or a regurgitation by a search engine suddenly pales in comparison. And it highlights the humanistic qualities that clearly differentiate not just one person from another, but people from non-humans. And so, as busy and as bombarded as we are in modern society, poetry, I think, is a wonderful reminder of what it means to be human, of how meaning can transcend time, and how sometimes saying less means a lot. The Poetic Man. That is all for today.